Hello everyone, today we're going to play a 10-minute game. Our elo is almost 1200 and we're going to grind to 2000. This is way too low, but it's because it's a new account. Let's play the Vienna. Normally I play the Italian, but the Vienna, because I made a video about it and I will show you the power of the Vienna Gambit if he would go for this knight, but he goes for that knight, so we move this bishop. Hopefully he will move this one. He doesn't, so now we just protect our center and try to go for this f4 move, and he should probably develop d6, the other bishop out. We already can play f4. If he takes us, he just helps us to develop, so that's alright. Then we want to develop the knight behind the pawn. That's what we're gonna do now. We can castle because his bishop is eyeing there, but we always have this idea of chasing it. He pins our knight, so he kinda threatens to move in here, so we can chase the bishop. I like that move. If he takes, our queen just gets more active, and if he retreats, we can maybe play f5 and start playing g4, but we should wait before he castles, because he can also drop back, play queen e2 and castle queenside, which is also a line. But this just loses the game, because we will trap his bishop on the edge. And we also have the idea of playing queen e2 and bishop e3, but there is an alternate move. He could have sacked, so in this position he could take the pawn, take back, bishop takes. It's still worse, but he gets 2 pawns for the bishop instead of 1. We don't even have to take the bishop right now. He jumps into the center, so we can trade it off, but then he gets this strong pawn. We can also just take. I like just taking the bishop, because otherwise he can maybe sacrifice for it. This pawn is not hanging. He does have this move now, so I suggest we take, so we protect this pawn. Takes with the bishop. Now we can even play something like this, but I like pinning the knight to the queen, so we can just trade it off, because we are up a piece. Also we have the idea of jumping in the middle right here, putting even more pressure. He unpins himself, which is a good move. I think we should just take, and after this we can jump into the middle, threatening his fork, so he doesn't have the time to take the pawn. And after he defends or castles, we can play this move c3, which attacks the bishop, fights for the center, opens up our queen. So that's what we are going to do. And I don't know where the bishop will go, maybe here. And then we can also start a pawn attack. He moves the bishop here, that just hangs the bishop, so we're gonna take it. Alright, and he just resigns. We have King's Gambit. You play the game featuring the King's Gambit. I also will go for all the openings and all the badges for you, but let's analyze the game. Or you know what, let's just play another one, because it was such a fast game. Because I like playing a lot more than analyzing. So we play the Sicilian defense. We are now almost 1400, because at first the games are really easy. So I want to play an accelerated dragon, but he goes for the Alpin, so we go with this move. If he takes, we can bring out our queen, because he doesn't have the square to develop for his knight, so it's okay. Now we pin the queen and we kind of get a Garo gone like position. Then we make this chain, because the bishop is outside of the chain. Now I like playing this move queen b3 actually, because I'm okay. If he takes, we just take back. And now we have pressure, so we can already take. If he plays queen takes, we can take in the center and we win a pawn. We can also maybe throw in this check to trade off a piece and getting quicker to castling ourselves, but I actually like taking the pawn a lot more, because now we're trying to take this pawn with a check. So we can maybe castle. Then we can take the pawn, but it's a bit dangerous maybe. But I think we just absolutely can. Very easy. We could just take the queen trade. But we can also just throw in the check first. Can hurt us. Now if he goes here, we can just take the knight. If he takes back, we take the queen. If he takes with the queen, we take the queen. Because we want to go to an endgame, because we are up a lot of stuff. Now I'll play this knight here, because I want to go after this pawn. Maybe I should, because if I go here, he will go f5, which is a bit annoying. But maybe I can centralize the queen, the king, I'm sorry. No, let's first play this move, because f5 isn't that bad. He goes the other way. We could castle, we could also play this move. I like this move a bit more, because in the endgame the king is a very important piece. And now I want to play a rook c1 and fight for this. He's threatening to come in over here. And if you play this move, he can grab the pawn. But we can trade. Take the pawn in the center. But then, and if he then comes in for a check, our pawn is defended. So we can move our king up. But then he has his move f5, and then we can block with the knight. So a very nice line. Once again, I'll play this move. If he takes the pawn, we take the rook. So we're going down the line. It is probably what's going to happen. Now we take the pawn in the center, freeing up the square, and now he doesn't go for it. He goes for something else, the bishop back. But my idea was, after this, we could go here, and if he chases our knight, trying to lose defense of this pawn, we can go with the knight over here, and also set up this move. So now our knight is hanging, we could move it, but we can also just defend the pawn. But then this will be a lot stronger. So, we can also just activate the king, which I like a lot, because now this isn't a check anymore. So we can just activate our own rook. Now he plays this move. We can go around trying to defend it, which I think is a very reasonable idea. And we can defend it, but then we can just activate our own rook. There we go. And he should activate his rook right now. And then, I don't know, yeah, he defends. Now we attack the bishop. He can grab the pawn, but that doesn't really matter. Then we can try to reroute our knight. So let's go for that. We move our knight this way, because we want to fork the bishop and the pawn to win something. He goes check. Very nice, because now our king gets to defend these squares, so the rook can't infiltrate anymore. So it has to stay passive on this square. This isn't really a fork anymore, you can just play g4, but it will still be nice. So we attack the pawn, and then we can activate like this. Also we can push this pawn, trade it, walk our king up. So we should go here, activate our knight, trying to move it to this very nice c4 square. He moves his king there. I think we can already move here. Yeah, let's do it. Also, I like this move in the future, putting pressure to the pawn. It is defended by the bishop, so that's a bit annoying, but still alright. He moves there. So now we can't play this move, but we can play a rook to the b file to take control of the only open file on the board, which is very nice. You also should look for forks. We can also try and infiltrate via the back rank. Or I like this move, attacking the rook. And if he likes, he cannot go back to the b file. And then we prepare this move. Actually, I made a small mistake. Because I thought after take, he has this move, bishop takes. So it doesn't work, but it's alright. We can move back or we can move. That's actually annoying. This way maybe, to put pressure. No, let's just move back here. It is a very nice square. And I'm thinking about this move, but I don't know if after the trade we are winning this endgame. I think we are, but why complicate things? Maybe I want to put my knight in the middle right here. Let's see, after rook, knight. We will go after the bishop. We cannot play this move. Actually, everything in this position is very nice defended. So let's see. If we go for this reroute, what will we play? Maybe something like this. Maybe we should go for e5. No, I say we infiltrate in the back rank. Oh, I'm very sorry for that. So now we're trying to move through the back rank, which would be very nice. So then we can pressure. So he is trying to go after our pawns. But now I say we move here, trying to attack. He can push the pawn, but now his king is a bit stuck there. So now I like this idea of rerouting because it comes with a check. And if we also hit the bishop, and he cannot play this anymore because we take the pawn. So we attack the bishop. If he plays this, we have this check move. He can not move to this square, he can move to this square, but then he also loses the pawn, and this just loses the bishop. And now he's losing another pawn and another pawn. Should we defend this pawn? We cannot because there are two things attacking. So let's take this pawn, bring our king up, and try to promote our pawns. It's pretty easy, but we should be careful because this pawn will be very strong. But let's see what he plays. We can give this check with a rook. Now I like defending the pawn, trying to push the pawn. You can also play a move like this to attack the pawn, but it has moving forward. We can go check, or we can start pushing ourselves. I like pushing ourselves, trying to make a queen, which would be very nice, an extra queen. So let's go. He moves here with the king. We can give this check. Why not? Because he's threatening to go here, forking these pieces. So let's go away with a check. He can move here, but then he moves in front of his pawn, so we have this knight move, preparing the pawn, taking away these squares. So I think this, and now we're threatening this rook check, because he cannot move forward, so he has to move here. Then we can take the rook, king takes, we push the pawn, he's gonna push the pawn. And then we just sacrifice our knight for the pawn, queen ourselves. There we go. He can try to push this pawn, but it it will be too late because we make a queen, which will be unstoppable, which will be checkmate very soon. Check over here. Check over here. You should defend the pawn. No, we jump in the knight. We could actually just take the pawn, makes it a lot easier. Take the other pawn. Yes, this move, so it's not stalemate. And now every move should come with a check. Yes, this move. Then we can check. Let's see where it goes. We can move here. Now he only has these moves. We bring our king, and this is a checkmate. Very nice. We got the Sicilian Alpin and we're up at 1400. We're now 1485. So clear all. Thank you all for watching to this video.